Exploring the transactional dynamics within human relationships, especially romantic ones, unveils a complex web of exchanges. These interactions, whether they involve emotional support, knowledge sharing, or even social capital, are inherently transactional. However, recognizing these exchanges does not devalue the essence of relationships. Instead, it offers a more nuanced understanding. Relationships, viewed as ecosystems of exchange, reveal that love, support, and mutual respect are forms of emotional labor and investment. This perspective prompts us to reflect on the balance of giving and receiving that underpins our connections, challenging the notion of purely selfless, non-transactional relationships. In essence, the interplay of giving and receiving is fundamental, highlighting the multifaceted nature of human connections. Adopting a broad view of transactions in relationships, we can craft a philosophical perspective that examines the intricate web of exchanges that constitute human connections, especially romantic ones. This viewpoint emphasizes that almost every interaction within a relationship involves some form of giving and receiving, which could be classified as a transaction. From this angle, love, emotional support, and mutual respect, while often considered intangible and freely given, can also be seen as forms of emotional labor and investment, highlighting the transactional dynamics at play. In this philosophical framework, relationships are viewed as ecosystems of exchange, where partners trade not just material goods and services, but also emotional support, knowledge, and social capital. This perspective does not necessarily diminish the value or authenticity of the emotional and spiritual aspects of relationships, but rather acknowledges the inherent give-and-take dynamic that underpins them. Emotional support involves active listening, empathy, encouragement, and sometimes sacrificing one's comfort for the partner's emotional well-being. This can be seen as emotional labor, which, while often given willingly and out of love, still constitutes a form of investment from which the giver may expect reciprocity, be it in the form of gratitude, love, or support in return. Sharing knowledge, experiences, and personal growth within a relationship can also be viewed as a transaction. Each partner contributes to the other's development, creating a mutual exchange of value that enriches both individuals. In some cases, relationships can involve the exchange of social capital, where being associated with a partner of certain status or prestige can enhance one's social standing. While this might seem transactional, it often coexists with genuine affection and companionship. From a biological standpoint, romantic relationships involving procreation can be seen as transactions aimed at genetic transmission and the continuation of lineage. This perspective highlights the evolutionary underpinnings of human mating and family-building behaviors. Given this broad interpretation of transactions, it's compelling to question whether truly non-transactional romantic relationships exist or if they are a societal idealization. If every form of interaction, including emotional exchanges, can be seen as part of a reciprocal dynamic, it may suggest that the notion of a purely selfless, non-transactional relationship is more of an ideal than a reality. This does not imply that relationships are mercantile or devoid of genuine love and altruism, but rather that these human experiences are complex and multifaceted, often involving both selfless and transactional elements. This philosophical stance does not devalue relationships, but encourages a more nuanced understanding of human connections, recognizing that the interplay of giving and receiving in all its forms is fundamental to how we relate to one another. It prompts a reflection on the nature of our interactions and the balance of exchange that sustains our connections, challenging us to consider the depth and diversity of transactions that underlie the fabric of human relationships.